Hey, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Supreme Medium Diviner. Today, we woke up with the tragic news that Pope Francis died at the age of 88, and he died today, April the 21st, which they are calling Easter Monday. I'm here to tell you guys the cause of death and where he is currently at right now and how this ties into with Easter, because I know you guys are dying to know. Before we get started, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop a video. If you feel compelled, please go ahead and like, comment, and share. Please beware of the scammers. I don't reach out to anyone. I do not have WhatsApp. You must book on my website to get my services. Let's go ahead and get into it. The Pope is such an open book. It didn't take much. So, regardless of what they're saying, he died from cardiac arrest. I see all this gunk he's coughing up coming out of his throat is quite disgusting, and he was so congested, so much stuff coming from out of his body. To me, it seems some type of like spiritual release. It's yellow in color. Typically, when there's a lot going on, it's usually black when it has to come up, but his was like a yellow, not yellow yellow. I'm gonna take that back, more like a cream color. That's what it was looking like. And I hate to be disgusting, but I have to give you guys the detail. So I know it's saying like it may have been stroke, cardiac arrest, point blank, simple. That's what he died from. And before that happened, he was coughing up all this stuff, and then probably put a strain on his heart because it was tons, and it was just coming out of his mouth. It was like a release. Okay. Also, I did a couple of months ago. I did a reading because I think they said it was in the news that he was seeing demons, but it really couldn't be confirmed. But I did want to look into it, so I didn't see that he was seeing that. But what I saw was that the person that was up in the bed that they were showing being sick, um, that wasn't Pope Francis. But now I got a clear picture about what was going on now that he's dead. So when I looked into it a couple of months ago, I saw him in this underground thing. To me, it looked like cave like, but it was like he was under there, and he had like, he was sitting down, he had stuff down there, and it was also he was making another tunnel as well. So now that he's dead and I looked into him, I see him there still, but now I understand. So I said back then that that person was not him. So his soul is trapped, because when I looked into him, his soul is in the confinements of the place that he was at, and it's trapped. And that's where it's at. So they've had his soul since that time. The vessel now is just dead. So they've already confined his soul, and they're keeping it, preserving it. They have the ability to do that. I told y'all that everything with the Catholic Church and Christianity is magic. Do y'all believe me now? This is crazy because I just did my live on yesterday talking about Easter. And if you have not seen it, please go back and check it out. And this proves even more that I told you it's nothing but magic. How are they preserving his soul? I told you yesterday, there are things that you wrap around the body, things that you say in the funeral rites to prepare them. And so they have other spells that they are using. They use Solomon. They know how to preserve the soul. They are not allowing him to go through the underworld to get to the astral. Okay. They're trying to preserve him because of his status. All right. And they've been working on this for a long time. So that vessel has finally expired. But he's in the same place that I seen him. I just didn't realize that it was his soul because he wasn't dead yet. But it's definitely his soul that they've been doing this with. So the fact that this happened on what they made a point to say Easter Monday, right? I want to tell y'all something. If you go outside today, do you notice that you get this heaviness over you, like very, very tired? I'm gonna tell you about myself. I was in here working, and me and my husband went and get some lunch. I was full of energy and everything. I didn't have too many clients today, so my energy wasn't depleted. I go outside and I just get so sleepy, like all of a sudden. So I'm like, dang, I'm tired. I said I was gonna come back home and do some stuff around the house. I said, but I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna sit down after I get these kids from school. I get back in the house, energy replenished just like that. Okay, so I start moving around and doing stuff, go get the kids from school. Soon as I get in my car, I wasn't even 5 minutes from my house. I got sleepy all over again. So, what does this tell me? Because this has happened before. This happened The most notable time is not last Easter, but the Easter before last. I did a video about it because it was happening then as well. So think of the movie Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. I can't talk. When Dorothy, when she's in the bed of flowers and that stuff comes down, I think it was like poppy seeds or something, and she fell asleep. That is what the pollen is doing. The pollen is a spell. This also proves my point about that the Easter is not going to be until after spring. Because why do we have the pollen? Because of the bees, everything is flourishing, opening up, rebirth, rejuvenation, right? So this is a spell. If you're feeling sleepy, you're getting the spell that's coming with the pollen. It's basically like a poison, I would say, for a lack of a better word, like a poison. And why do they want to make you sleepy? Because when you're in a more relaxed state, it's easier to get your energy. You're relaxed, you're outside, you seem calm, you're kind of lethargic, you don't too much have a fight in you, right? So energy can be harvested, energy can be taken. Okay, so they're taking all the energy of everybody and using it for a ritual. Okay, um this just makes it even stronger when they recite. Remember, I told y'all yesterday they're saying the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and then they're using Mary's prayers. And what was Mary about? What I told y'all, she was all about the people, all about the people. That's what she made it seem like. They always like crowds. How did they go and raise the dead, and did they save like people who had disease? I didn't tell y'all this yesterday, but by saying those names, they were able to do that. And when they did these things, what did they have? Crowds. They loved crowds. That is why. That's energy. All right? Energy. Because they pull off of people. So, for the ones that are saved and being baptized, they're just pulling from you even more. Because when you take a soul, remember I told y'all yesterday, a soul is only good for a year. So people who have been saved years on down, they're not using their soul, but they can use energy, right? So they don't, they're not picking out who's saved and da da da. Da. They just gonna take everybody. So this pollen, they use the pollen for that. All right. So yeah, if you're wondering why you're getting sleepy, that's what's going on. And so they're using this for the Pope to finish the ritual, so they can preserve the soul. They do not want to give him up just yet, and they're able to do that. Just like I told y'all yesterday that there are spells to help the dead walk. People who are in graves. Somebody had commented yesterday saying that their I think their father had passed, and their son had told them when they went to the graveside that he said he wanted to walk, he wanted to move his legs. Yeah, they can do that. And there's things that you can do in order to let things like that happen. So y'all don't be fooled out here. I told y'all yesterday the church is nothing but magic. Nothing but magic. But the Pope, he's not in the underworld. They have him confined in the walls. And also I want to let you know, remember when the Pope, when they did that, I forgot what they call it, but when they're forgiving people of their sins this year, 2025, they're giving people a new slate, and everybody, when he opened the doors of the Vatican, what they call the holy doors, that we heard the baby crying, and I did a TikTok on that, and I broke that down on who that was. It was a girl that went missing, the Vatican girl. Do y'all remember the look of horror on his face when those doors were open? So in that space, in those walls, are all these things, entities is what they look like from me, and he can see them. Okay, not demons, but entities. And there are a lot of souls within those walls. That's why he had that look of horror on his face. So now he is one of those souls. Okay, so that's it. I don't know what more y'all want from it, because a lot of people are asking and wanting questions about it. It's pretty cut and dry. Wasn't hard to see. And I'm trying to see if there's anything significant about them expiring the body on Easter, because the only thing that I could think of them doing this has to do maybe because something with Mary. They hold Mary in high regard. So what I'm getting on intuitively is that they needed to do something for Mary. So what does this tell me? I don't think Jesus got a soul. Remember I told y'all I had intervened? That's what's coming to me. I don't think they found a soul. I don't think they found a soul yesterday. Mm-mm. Because as soon as when I heard that the Pope had died, immediately what came to my mind is the children that I said, the souls that are like dark as charcoal that came running out of the building that I told y'all about in the video the other day, and the face paint. Immediately that vision that I had came to mind. And usually when that happens, it means something. So I'm gonna look into this further, guys, but I don't think they got a soul for Jesus yesterday. A lot of what they do is centered around Mary. Mary is like their everything, and like they really like worship her a lot. So she's probably requested something because something did not go right with her son yesterday. All right. So that's what I'm getting out of that. And I would definitely look more into it. But y'all stay in the house. Stay in the house. Don't let them harvest your energy. Um, I don't know what plans they have for the Pope. When I look into the history of when they hold on to these saints, but the Pope is much more than that to them. But just by looking at the saints, they actually, I forgot what you call it, but they have, it's a box that they put something physical. And while I'm saying this, I'm seeing that stuff coming up. His heart. They're going to hold on to his heart, which is the soul. But they're going to actually put the physical heart in a box. And they finna treat him like the King Solomon. They finna do some magic with that heart. They finna like try to do some stuff with it. So that's what's going on, y'all. They're about to put it in a box in his heart, and they're gonna keep it. Um, if you're not familiar with this, look up Catholics and saints and the physical parts of bodies that they keep. It's a word that they call it. If somebody knows that word, please put it in the comments. My mind is like totally going blank right now. But they hold on to these things and they use it. The nun is a prime example of this. Y'all remember in Nun 2, they used the eyes of that girl, which was the saint that they said that had to do with the nun that could save them. And remember, they had to find it. That's what I'm talking about. They do this all the time. That is actually a true story. The Nun 2. That's a true story, okay? So his heart, that's why all that stuff was coming up. I'm gonna find out what that was. I feel like it had something to do with his assimilage point, which is right here, and everybody has it. And it was a release. And but his wasn't black. Whenever somebody has a release and they're about to die, it's black stuff. You would even hear them nurses, the medical term, they have a medical term for it. Y'all know when they the death rattle is caused by the black stuff. It's liquid and it comes up, but his is not black. His is a cream color. So I'm not understanding why it's cream color and not black. But it was all through here. And after that came up, that's when he was going into cardiac arrest. And so they're going to put his heart in the box and they're going to be using this for spell work. I'm not sure who they're going to be using to ward off though, because typically that's what they do. They use it to ward what they feel like as an evil presence off. So maybe it has something to do with what he saw when he opened up the holy doors. But they're definitely going to be using it. So put your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. I will go back and check to see if I can get information more on that stuff that came up and the heart. But that's what's going on right now with Pope Francis. So I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.